Alright, today we will be continuing with solving inequalities. Last class you did solving multi-step inequalities, and today we're going to be adding on to that and you'll be solving multi-step inequalities. So your first step, similar to solving equations, is to distribute. After that, look to combine like terms as long as they are on the same side. Then move variables to one side using inverse operations. And because we're doing inequalities, you're going to want to move those variables to the left. And you'll see why as we solve. Step 4 would be to move your constants, aka your numbers, to the other side. Again, using inverse operations. And then solve. Remember, because we're solving inequalities, you need to put the symbol if you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number. So let's go ahead and jump in. Looking at example 1, I'm going to kind of run through my checklist. I see that there is nothing to distribute and no like terms to combine on the same side of the inequality. So I'm going to go ahead and move my variables to the left by subtracting 2x on both sides. So I'm putting that underneath the 6x. So that cancels on the right. That gives me 4x minus 4, dropping down my inequality symbol, and 12. Move your constants to the other side, so add 4, dropping down 4x, less than or equal to 16, and then just bringing that over here since I'm running out of room, and divide both sides by 4. Notice that I don't need to change my inequality symbol because I divided by a positive number. It asks us to justify each step, so I'm going to go back. This here, when I subtracted, would be the subtraction or addition property of inequality. When I added 4 on both sides, that would be the addition property of inequality. And then the last step would be division, or you could say also multiplication property of inequality. And the last step, when I simplify 16 divided by 4, you can think about it, I replace 16 divided by 4 with 4. That would be the substitution property. So there you have it. Make sure that you get down those properties and have all your notes. Feel free to pause if you get stuck on anything. And let's go ahead and look at example 2. I'm going to erase this. Okay, so I'm going to start by making my I'm going to take a look at this and notice that the first thing I need to get rid of is the plus 1. If it were written a plus 7, I'm sorry, if it were written a plus 1 over 7, that would be different. I would have to multiply by 7 first. But instead, it is written a over 7 plus 1. So I can get rid of that plus 1 first, so subtract 1 on both sides, which gives me a over 7 is less than negative 6. And that, of course, is the subtraction or addition property of inequality. And the last step, multiply both sides by 7. So that gives me a is less than negative 6 times 7 is negative 42. Now, I want you to think about why I didn't change my inequality symbol, because you might think, well, hey, you multiply a negative there, but it doesn't matter what you do on one side. What we're thinking about here is what I've done on both sides of the inequality. And I multiplied by a positive number on both sides. So I'm not going to have to change anything there. And again, that last step was the division, or you can say multiplication property of inequality. Just trying a couple more examples. This time I'm not going to write the property, rather I am going to graph once we've solved. So for number 1, I noticed there are no like terms on the same side, and my variables are already on the left. So I'm just going to go ahead and move my constants to the right by adding 13 on both sides. So that leaves me with negative 2x is greater than or equal to positive 6. The last step, divide both sides by negative 2. And remember, I'm going to flip the direction of my symbol because I divided by a negative number. So I got x is less than or equal to negative 3. So I'm going to go up to my number line here, and I'm going to draw a closed circle, right, because it's got that line underneath it, so equal to, and I'm going to draw my arrow to the left. For number 2, let's go ahead and start by distributing. So distributing that 2 in gives me 8 minus 2x is less than 8. I don't have any like terms, so I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides to get my constants to the other side, which leaves me with negative 2x is less than 0. And just because I got 0 doesn't mean it's no solution. I'm going to continue with the problem, divide both sides by negative 2, which means I need to flip my inequality symbol, making it greater than. And what is 0 divided by negative 2? Well, that's just 0. So you can go over to your inequality, your number line, draw a big open circle at 0, arrow pointing to the right. If I were to list 3 solutions, I cannot include 0, but I could do just above 0, 0.5, 1, and 2. Anything that's greater than 0 would be a solution. Moving right along, again, feel free to pause if you get stuck on anything. Let's start by distributing here. So I'm going to rewrite the left side. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times negative x is minus 4x. Next, I'm going to look for like terms. I don't see any like terms, so I'm going to move my variables to the left by adding 4x on both sides, which gives me 5 minus 1x is greater than 12. Subtract 5 on both sides, and you'll get negative 1x is greater than 7. Divide both sides by negative 1. Don't forget to flip your inequality symbol. That will become x is less than negative 7. So graphing that, that's going to be an open circle because it doesn't have the or equal to underneath. Arrow pointing to the left. And the last problem, let's go ahead and distribute. So start by multiplying that negative 2. That negative is going to come with it. Drop down to 7n. Negative 2 times n is going to be negative 2n. Negative 2 times 5, minus 10. Drop down to greater than or equal to 3n minus 16. Combine your like terms. 7n minus 2n is going to give me 5n. Minus 10 is greater than or equal to 3n minus 16. Looking to move my variables to the left, I'm going to subtract 3n on both sides, which gives me 2n minus 10 is greater than or equal to negative 16. This is a long problem. Add 10 on both sides to move your constants away. And that's going to give me 2n is greater than or equal to negative 6. Divide both sides by 2. And I am not going to flip my inequality symbol here because what I divided by on both sides of the equation, positive 2, was a positive number. So I don't need to change my inequality symbol at all. Go up to your number line, draw a closed circle on negative 3. Because it's got the or equal to, the line underneath, and then draw your arrow to the right. For 3 solutions, I can include negative 3 because it's greater than or equal to, and then any number greater than or equal to negative 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do negative 2 and 0. So there you go. Go ahead and feel free to pause or rewind if you got stuck in anything. flip over and try your you-do problems. It does say circle which numbers are solutions. So you're going to solve, graph, and then circle. So 3 things for each of those. And raise your hand when you're done, and your teacher will come around and check you. Thanks for listening.